Part 2, the Democrats' fake news perversion of justice. So I'm talking, of course, about the hoax impeachment trial, the somber walk down, which was replete with makeup and costumes. Everybody was wearing funeral garb as they made the walk in for the whatever the heck they call it. Nancy Pelosi called it. The somber something trial for which she was giving out free pens on the side. But Judge Judy, Judge Judy Court, which is basically one step away from Jerry Springer, right? Mothers suing daughters for a rent payment and that sort of thing. And people take this and they bring it into real courtrooms and they think, well, this is the way you're supposed to dress and to act. And all of this to turn justice into a circus, because again, watch the America's Man's Man episode on americasmansman.com, The Party of Evil. Their purpose is to create havoc, to create chaos inside the Senate, so that justice will not prevail, so that chaos will prevail, and things will spin out of control. Again, they're doing things. Their audience is not the Senate. Their audience is not the Senate. It is the do nothing Jerry Springer watching, Judge Judy watching home viewer who has nothing better to do with their time than watch this hoax impeachment trial. Because the intelligent people, even the people who hate Donald Trump the most, and are involved with the Democratic Party, they're even smarter than to think that anything substantive will come out of this Judge Judy court, this Judge Judy impeachment proceeding, which is like court but in the Senate, because that's kind of how the Constitution is set up regarding impeachment. So long story short, what you see on, basically the Democrats are playing to what their low information audience is sitting at home collecting welfare checks from the federal government. At least they were. Maybe they're not now, because Donald Trump is getting rid of the dead wood, burning the dead wood, as it were. Basically, forcing them to go out and do something. This is their audience. So their audience is not the wisest people we've selected to preside, that we have elected the Senate to, in the case of a normal court, it'd be a judge appointed, an appointed judge, or in some places, an elected chief justice, depending on where you live, depending on your state, your territory. But in this case, it happens to be the Senate, the higher chamber of court, or the higher legislative body of the two houses of the, I guess, the larger Congress, the Congress proper, and the Congress proper, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. So what you have is this is how television is perverting our legislative process, again usurping a branch of government that it was neither elected nor duly appointed to by the people. Through any again this idea of the fourth estate, the fake fourth estate, claiming authority where it has not been elected by the people, and its purpose, its motives, its financial and otherwise, are all chiefly motivated in pure profit. So it's a commercial enterprise, and their chief goal, their chief manner of extracting a profit from the viewer at home, is to ensure that as much chaos ensues as possible, because this is what gets good ratings. So I just want, again, my purpose here is to draw to light, is to, again, help you keep your eye on the ball as you watch these fake kangaroo courts of ABC experts, which is, again, a host of really a drawn-out drama loosely based on reality, it's very meta, millennials would call it, because you have the fake kangaroo court of experts at the networks, purely for profit, for entertainment, for infotainment networks, commenting on a kangaroo court, inside the Senate. I guess you could. I mean, that it's a duly elected process. It's a proper legislative impeachment proceeding. Technically, but by all moral accounts, it's a farce. And it's very clear that again, the Democrats at this point are not appealing to any wisdom by any stretch of the duly elected senators who will be judging this impeachment trial of sorts. But they are instead making a mockery of the Senate chambers. They're making a mockery of their own elected positions by again appealing to the very lowest common denominator. They really only have one audience in the courtroom, and that is the cameras. The cameras representing the very lowest information person who has no moral ground, no understanding. These are the people whom the fake news has convinced that sodomy, sodomy and every other evil, sodomy, prostitution, promiscuity, swinging, this is the American way. This is their audience. And so rather than actually participate in a process correctly, they're using show business tactics, just basically shouting the same things over and over again, and explicitly stating, well, we have to repeat this over and over again, otherwise all the viewers at home aren't gonna see all this. And so you have all these kind of basically it's an audience of really, really stupid Americans, stupid, lazy Americans who have nothing better to do with their time, because not even the people on the left who have any degree of intelligence are watching this, because they know what's going on. They get all this, so the Democrats are really making a play for the lowest common denominator, and it's really beneath the dignity of the Senate chambers, and of course our Constitution. But this is what the fake news does. The fake news appropriates a branch of government and trolls. You want to know who the real trolls of American culture and government and morality and religion and spirituality and physical health really are? It's the so-called fourth estate. It's the self-proclaimed fourth estate. It's the fake news who profit when America suffers, and just have a heyday, have a prosperity party when America is terrorized by our very worst enemies. And this is why I contend, America's man's man contends, that the fake news is America's public enemy number one, our number one domestic terrorist, and it needs to be dealt with in kind. It needs to be dealt with the same severity, with the same level of weight and repercussions, with the same amount of terror that it has duly wreaked on the American people as our number one domestic terrorist, as America's enemy within, on behalf of communism. This is who the fake news acts on in order to line its own pockets and aggrandize itself. This is America's man's man, with how the Democrats are acting in cohorts with the fake news to drag our hallowed constitutional government, our constitutional republic, God's exceptional nation, and along with that, God and Christianity, through the mud.